Hey everybody, Rob from Champ Nutrition and Simplified Fitness here. Wanted to start off this video first by thanking Nick from iForce Nutrition for our demo this past Saturday. It was a great event. We moved a ton of iForce at that day. It was a great deal. It was 20% off the entire line. A lot of people came in, they tried the red velvet cake and the vanilla mint swirl, and they got immediately hooked on it. I mean, it's a great protein, probably the best tasting on the market right now. So we still always have that in stock. We have the vanilla and chocolate coming in. They're on back order, but they should be in probably within the next week or two. So the video today I'm going to do is if it fits your macros type dieting. Now, a lot of people will tend to follow this type of diet because it's based on one principle and one principle only, really. As long as it fits within your daily caloric break, like when you break down calories to fat, carbs, and protein, if what you're eating fits within those numbers, you can eat it. I mean, there's no limit as to what you can eat. Guys eat Pop-Tarts. They'll have cheeseburgers. I mean, they'll go out to places to eat, and as long as it fits within those numbers and their diet parameters, they can pretty much eat whatever they want. And there is a lot of anecdotal evidence. There's plenty of guys out there that follow natural pro bodybuilders. I know Lane Norton to a degree does follow that. He bases everything off macronutrients. Joe Franco, he's another guy that big just basing it off macronutrients. But the one thing that I try to advocate, being a trainer myself, is I'm a big believer in if it fits your macros, but at the same time, there's certain times where you realize you can't eat whatever you want just because it's almost impossible to, A, eat enough basically to prevent you from overeating in the day, and just trying to get within those caloric restrictions, it's a little bit difficult with some foods that have higher fat, higher carb, and lower protein. So I would say that one of the biggest times that you notice if it fits your macros dieting getting a little controversial is when people are cutting. People think, oh, well, if I can still eat Pop-Tarts as my carb source, why would I not just opt for that? I mean, it just makes that much sense. I should have Pop-Tarts with every meal for carbs. I shouldn't be eating oatmeal. But to a degree, you also have to look at other nutrients that are macronutrients that are in there. So the protein's low. I'm using that one food as an example. Fat's not too high, but also not low. I mean, carbs, they're really high, and then at the same time, protein's really low. So if you're on the lower end of the spectrum for carbohydrates for your macros, it's going to be hard to have Pop-Tarts and then also be able to eat and more or less fit your other meals in throughout the day, depending on how many times you're eating. So I would say that when it comes down to that, quote-unquote bro foods, like your stereotypical bodybuilder type foods, steak, chicken, eggs, sweet potatoes, all those carbs, brown rice, oatmeal, oat bran, sweet potatoes, yams, even white potatoes aren't that bad. I mean, they're the type of micronutrient-rich foods that are also going to be giving you those essential micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, that you should be eating those in just for overall general health. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can look great following an if it fits your macros diet. But at the same time, if you're not getting in those nutrient-dense foods, you're not doing good for your overall health. So it is an approach that can actually help you lose weight or gain lean mass, depending on what your goals are. But at the same time, do I feel it's optimal to just eat whatever you want and not use proper judgment in terms of your food choices? No, I don't think that's optimal. But again, that's just my opinion. I mean, I know Mark Lobliner, he's pretty much an if it fits your macros guy, but at the same time, he keeps his foods pretty simple. He even says he eats a lot of bro foods, and that's just because it's easy to fit those foods into a macronutrient based diet where you're just counting fat, carbs, and protein. I mean, with my clients now, I even tell them, I give them a list of like typical suggested foods, but I say that you can eat whatever you want. Just use good judgment and keep within the numbers, and that's the main thing. So when people are turning around and saying if it fits your macros doesn't work, they're wrong in saying that because there's plenty of anecdotal evidence. I mean, Alberto Nunez, he diets on Pop-Tarts. I mean, he's a bit of a freak, but at the same time, just the fact that he can get away with doing that does prove that a carb is a carb to some degree anyway. I mean, obviously you have different effects on insulin levels based on the type of carbohydrate, but when you factor in fats and proteins, that kind of goes out the window. So for those of you who are wondering if it does work, it does. But at the same time, I wouldn't recommend just figuring, oh, well, if I can eat at McDonald's 3 times a day and fit it into my macros, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I don't think that's optimal because, like I said, with certain foods, you're not getting those micronutrient-dense foods that you need for good general overall health. I mean, there's no sense in looking great if you're not actually treating the inside of your body just as well as you're trying to treat the outside of your body. You may look good, but if your insides aren't healthy, it doesn't really do you a whole lot of good in the long run. So, just a pretty quick response on that video. I mean, I know it's a really controversial topic nowadays, but at the same time, I just wanted to give you guys a small little bit of sampling on there. If you want more details on it, you can email me at rob.oberholzer, OBERHOLZR 923@gmail.com, and I can work. I mean, right now I'm accepting any and all clients, any experience, any age range. I'm a personal trainer. You can look me up on Facebook at Simplified Fitness. And that's my diet plans are relatively simple. I keep it pretty straightforward based on macronutrients. So I am a macros guy, but I try to keep it as simple as possible. And I always tell people, if you can indulge, do it. But if it's not conducive and doesn't fit your macros, try to stay away from it. So that's pretty much all I have for today. It's getting late. I want to try and get to bed, get up early. So I'll probably be on Champ's page overnight, trying to figure out a deal for tomorrow, and then work on a couple deals for later in the week. And then whatever you guys want for a video next, just let me know. Either comment below, post on Facebook, email me, pretty much any way that you can get in touch with me. And then I'll be sure to give you guys whatever you want because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you guys the information you need to help you reach your goals. So, hope you guys have a good one and start the week off right.